in particular in terms of control. You really want a support that can give you that lockdown you want. Does look like Kookaburra does go into the jug. That's a solid pick for them. It feels like a deny from forward, right? You don't want to be going against that Magnus jug coming out. It just comes online too fast. It does too much damage. It gets the farm done fast as well. So they do kind of deny that out from forward as well, going for themselves. Of course, it's nice to have with that Shadow Demon. Spamming out those jug illusions to get a push going is pretty strong. So forward now, you're going to have to find a core that enjoys the Magnus. They could go into the PA. We have seen that a couple of times. To go with the Beastmaster first. So it does look like a support Magnus. I mean, it can work. It's just you definitely lack some control here.
Can't disagree. The Beastmaster and Jakira, though, they do offer quite a bit of crowd control in those big engagements. We'll see how it all pans out. I mean, the position 4 Magnus doesn't necessarily mean you're completely screwed. It can work out very well in forward gaming, being undefeated right now. Obviously, probably are going to pull off a pretty nice performance on this position 4. Though we'll see. It's Kookaburra. Still can't be underestimated. They do have one band left before we get to see what these final picks are. You've got to think of those safe lane carries right now that do take advantage of that empower. You already pointed out the PA that could come out. I mean, there's even there's those odd picks like the AM that could also come out, though it's very unlikely. They'll get rid of the Slark, which isn't really one of those heroes that really enjoys that empower too much, but at the same time, it doesn't mind it.
Are you going for the Wraith King on Kookaburra's side? I could see that happening if you ban out the Slark, not just for the Magnus combination, which would be strong, but in particular because you're going for a Wraith King. Slark does really enjoy playing against Wraith Kings, right? I mean, he latches on, he steals all the Agi. If you don't burn through his mana, it's even better. So he comes back to life, you steal even more Agi, and then you kill the guy off. Slark is pretty strong against that. They could be going for the actually no. I'm dumb. I forgot there's a jug. They're not going for the Raid King, so I guess they were expecting the Magnus Slark coming out. We have seen that a couple of times. I have to say it's not the most impressive Magnus combination. Of course, it still works. It's just not the first thing that comes into your mind when you see the Magnus come out for a safe lane core. It just takes a bit too long to really come in line. Slark does not have the best attack speed by himself. Really depends on getting the stacks going to really start twacking fast. And Magnus, especially if you're going to be playing around at Empower, enjoys heroes that can hit hard early on. So perhaps the Troll coming out as well if Forward Gaming wants that. That's a combination we see a lot more of. The Magnus Troll is definitely still strong and it's still up there as well. So it's something they could fall back to. They ban out the Dazzle. That's fair. You don't want to be dealing with that. You have no way of eating through that Shallow Grave. Last pick now. What'll it be? I mean, the PA and the Troll are really the best choices here.
Forward. I mean, the PA would be fun to watch. You've still got that Nyx Assassin, though, so it'd be a bit scary just jumping on that Spy Carapace, but there are, of course, other targets. I mean, it does work well up against the Juggernaut as well. That evasion going to be nice against the Omni Knight, or the Omni Slash, though. Wraith King will be the pickup from Forward Gaming. And so perhaps they did feel like there was a chance. Well, there wasn't really, though. The Jug was already there. The Wraith King is going to be a nice addition, though, right? With the Jakiro, with the Beastmaster, with the skeletons of the Wraith King, give us some crazy push. He does enjoy the Empower. He does come online early enough to be of value to this kind of team. I feel like this is just almost the perfect pick. Kookaburra really don't have the answer for it, apart from maybe the Nyx Assassin. But even then, it's not guaranteed that you'll drain his mana fast enough.
The Jug could go for the Diffusal. That's one issue. I think Jug Diffusal actually wins out against the Wraith King, especially early on. It's just going to be very hard for Wraith King to find that mana, and Kookaburra does close it out with that Leshrac pick, so they look to have a pretty solid draft themselves. You're in that Wraith King. It's going to be interesting to see how he itemizes. Are we going to see that typical build, the Midas into Radiance this time around, or are we going to see something faster with the Magnus playing as your support? perhaps going for the armlet, a fast blink to close that gap, force out the fights. We'll see. Forward again. This is pretty important for them to maintain that win streak. And Kookaburra, they want to win this one out to ensure themselves a good spot going into day 2.
I mean, for Forward Gaming, though, they've basically guaranteed themselves a playoff spot at this point, right? Like, it's not even...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Unless they lose every single match afterwards, which would still probably put them in the upper half. Or at the very least in a tied position. They should still have a pretty clean shot into getting those closed.
Well, Kookaburra, definitely going to be a more important game for them, as they are still 2-1. They want to try and take that at least 3rd position, as they are tied right now with quite a few teams. Kookaburra currently sitting in 4th at 2-1. Looks like J-Storm did actually rise up to that 2nd place spot with Beast Coast. So they are holding on within the group stage right now on the side of Kookaburra, but if they could find this 3rd win for themselves, it would really solidify their spot, at least for now. But they are up against arguably the hardest team in the group stage, so we'll see how they can do. Their draft looks pretty decent. As long as they can pull it off, it'll be a pretty interesting match. But Forward Gaming's draft is also pretty darn scary. I suppose we're going to have to look to those lanes to really see who wins out in this one.
Are you kidding me?
Prepare for battle.
Now, I like seeing this from MSS. He does have the good start. I mean, they've allowed him to have that really greedy start on his Magnus. Pylite, of course, buying every single item first, but MSS, with the gold he has saved up, does start off with a Beats of Speed. That should allow him to position himself in a good spot to get those skewers off, which again is important for that support mag.
Well, there will be a smoke coming out, though, from the side of Kookaburra. They're going to see if they can find a very early pick-off. Kirak hasn't really leveled up the disruption yet, but it'd be a very easy setup if he found somebody. There are 3 heroes as well to the west of them, but they've got to find them first. And well, as it stands, it looks like they believe nobody's around quite yet. Kitrak gonna keep looping around. There will be a pause though. The CCNC having some mic issues. All they really need to do is land a disruption, and that'll pretty much be it. That'll almost be a guaranteed kill on a hero. We do get the go-ahead. Kirak gonna keep running in. Yuwa will show himself on the Wraith King. And it looks like they probably won't jump in at this point. I mean, the heroes on the side of Kookaburra are starting to back off. They still do have the kill potential, but it looks like Forward are playing very, very cautiously here. MSS gonna be the first one to run in on the Magnus. Out. They are get disruption off onto Yuan. Now the Impel is there onto 2 as well. The follow-up stun and the spin, and that'll be the first blood going the way of Ritsu on the side of Kookaburra.
What did you expect? I'll help my weak and puny ally.
And so Forward, they really wanted that banner in. It does cost them the first blood in the end. Kookaburra, great start for them.
Definitely is, and they might even find MSS here.
It's going pretty far. He does have the skewer available. Kirak does not go for the disruption quite yet. He'll just throw out some right clicks, and it looks like that'll be the end of that. And as it stands, we are seeing a Trilane versus Trilane situation. We'll see who it does favor is Kirak. He does get stunned up though. Nice double impel coming up from King Out. So MSS, he really wanted that skewer back into the T1 tower. Won't be so lucky though. I mean, just judging by the heroes in this lane, you would assume Forward do have the advantage with the Jakiro. In fact, they're going to dive in again. They do get the skewer off this time. Kidrak underneath the T1. He will disrupt himself, but Pylai Die should be able to slow him down long enough. Though MSS couldn't get the body blocks off on Kitrak. Looks like they'll just be satisfied with the fact that he's going to have to burn through quite a bit of regen now.
Yeah, at the same time, you have expended a lot of mana from the side of forward. Like, Twilight Eye has to pop his clarity now as well to get the next dual breath up, and you know, this harassment from Kookaburra is actually a lot to deal with. And I'm not sure if it's worthwhile for forward to keep this up. You're not getting EXP on MSS as well, and that's going to be one key factor here. If this Magnus does not find a good EXP progression, he's not going to have as much of an impact as you'd hope.
Nice skewer back on the Nyx Assassin. Now the Dual Breath comes out once again. This should be a kill coming out though. Impale will be there. It will not matter though. Paladai will find the kill. Now Kitrak has to be careful as MSS continues moving forward, but he doesn't have the skewer available again. We'll move over to the other lanes where Bryle is going to be up against CCNC on the Ember. And so far it is favouring Bryle on the Leshrac. CCNC falling behind the last hits quite a bit. So it is just, versing a Leshrac is pretty darn difficult, especially when he does go the Lightning Storm build. Bro, looks like his lane should continue to probably be pretty darn nice, as I don't see how CCNT is going to be able to shut this Leshrac down.
It's going to be rough. Yeah, there's no real way for the Ember to completely shut that guy down, and
Yeah, you are. He does go down, although top lane skewer back onto King L, but he will not really cop any tower damage. MSS will keep chasing him down, but no real kill potential there, so he'll TP back into the lane. So it looks like they're thinking about diving him once again. Ritsu will have to wait out at least the spin before he can try. Of course, we'll have a quick peek at the bot lane, where Snaking is up against Moon Meander. Basically, just a trading lane between these two, as they're not going to kill each other with just themselves. Snaking should overtake eventually just because he has those balls available, and you can see Moon Meander starting to cop a fair bit of harassment from them. But essentially both should survive and should just trade farm until they're required from their team. Speaking of team, Paladai about to fall again up the top lane. They're going to chase King L on the Nyx Assassin, though MSS will cop a fair bit of harassment from Ritsu on the Jug. But it does feel like this tri-lane is completely lost now for Forward Gaming.
it does seem that way. Again, they haven't gotten enough with their supports there. They really bled out on their Magnus as well. So it's not the best times right now for forward. It has been a bit of a rough start. 3-1 at 4 minutes in. They do maintain a slight net worth lead, but that top lane is really copping a lot right now.
CCNC as well. Almost dropping in the mid lane. Brawl being very aggressive on that Leshrac, though CCNC, he does have the bottle up. Meanwhile, bot lane, Moon Meander, going to be in trouble. Snaking just chasing him down, and will end up finding the kill. And I didn't think we'd be seeing a kill like that coming out from the bot lane of all things, but Snaking does find one.
Yeah, you really can't just walk too far forward as the Centaur here. As you mentioned earlier, the boars do a lot of damage now. They are at level 3 now as well, so the right-click damage, the slow, the harass is just a bit too much. And there's not much you can do as a solo Centaur to really stave that off.
Five-minute bounty runes. It will be a 2-for-2 trade as Snaking will be able to get the bot bounties. Moon Meander just happy to leave them alone. So a 3-2, 5 minutes in. Back to Brawl on that Leshrac. He is still farming very, very well. The CCNT has caught up quite decently as well on the Ember. It looks like Brawl maybe just looked like he may have committed to the jungle, but no, he'll go back to the lane. No real reason to go to the jungle quite yet. He is just still winning out this lane. The CCNC has just started to take over in last hits now as well on the Ember. Back up at the top lane. Messes got to be careful here. Kidraki doesn't have disruption. You still got the Impel to worry about though from King L. There will be an Impel coming out though. It's just to try and snipe some of those neutral creeps away from Yuwa. This does also buy a lot of space from Ritsu. Just keep farming up on that Jug. he has found himself ahead of Yuwa on that Raid King now. Kirak even, just with the Shadow Poisons being very frustrating towards Forward Gaming as they try to farm up that stack. Bot lane Moon. Be in trouble with CCNC. Will rotate down as the Ember. Does have a double damage rune as well. Moon Meander doesn't back off quite yet. He'll pop the Stampede though. Raw is there, and CCNC doesn't have chains available but doesn't really need them. Nice Hoof Stomp comes out, but he's guaranteed dead, and Snaking will be the one to pick up the kill. Meanwhile, top lane, TI9 is going to be chased down though. He'll be alright, he'll make it to his tier 1 tower. Ritsu now just wants to get out. Looks like Kirak will get caught out by Yuwa, and now they want to keep going after this Jug. In fact, no, they'll change their mind, they want the Nyx Assassin. Impale will come out, and Yuwa looks like he'll give up on that, and he'll just get straight back to farming.
Yeah, that's a solid pickup for forward. Of course, they've found a couple of big kills that they want.
Ritsu.
They might even find Ritsu.
Yeah, Ice Path comes down though. Nice Impale again, but it will not save him this time around, as he does tick out to the dot damage of TI9. So now 3-5, and I mean this tri-lane versus tri-lane situation looked like it was going really bad for Forward Gaming, though now it's kind of just turned around on its head and it's going bad for Kookaburra.
Yeah, they're not finding as much as you'd expect. The issues you had with Magna support is the same kind of issues you have with a Nyx support. They really need that EXP, although.
Nice steal back from MSS, but they did get the Impale off though. Ice Path will come in from TI9, but the spin is there from Ritsu. They will end up finding Yuwa once again. Now MSS really has nowhere to go. His skewer already being committed. It's going to be chased down here by Bryle on the left track, and MSS will end up going down. Ritsu will pick up the double kill on the Jug. And speaking of bot lane, Snaking will end up finding Moon Meander once again on the Beastmaster. And so we're 5-6 now, still a slight net worth lead there for Forward Gaming. It's really hard to know who's actually winning out these lanes at this stage. All we can say is Snaking's definitely winning the bot lane, but every other lane does seem fairly even. I suppose you could claim the top lane has still been won by Kookaburra, considering Ritsu is just that much further ahead in net worth in comparison to Yuwa.
Definitely so. I think that's a fair assessment to make. Again, you're staring at the Jug, who does have a decent start under his belt. It's not the most amazing start we've seen, but he is at 3.6k net worth right now, pretty much top above everyone else except for the Beastmaster, so only Snaking has a bit more farm than him.
Stampede there from Moon. It will not matter though. An immediate roar coming up from Snaking, and now Bryle. He'll TP over as the left track, but doesn't find the Split Earth. This bot lane really is not going Kookaburra's way, as Bryle has to be very careful now. MSS does connect the Shockwave. Snaking is still around the area, but was just waiting on his boars, and now the Diabolic Edict comes out. But look how hard Snaking hits right now. Split Earth will not connect. It won't matter. Snaking will back off. Bryle will do the exact same on the left track. Yuwa again going to go down top lane. Ritsu finds another kill. In fact, it was Kirak who claimed the kill this time around. But around that 10-minute mark as well, you'll get the bounty runes up, at the very least at the top lane for Kookaburra. CCNC will come in though, but a double Impale will come out from King Al. CCNC wants to keep chasing. Ice Path will connect, but now the disruption comes out from Kirak, and well, it won't be enough. The Slider Fist will be there from CCNC to find the kill in the end. 6-8 now. I mean, this game is just turning into a bit of a bloodbath as Moon Meander gonna get charged on. Snaking didn't have the roar this time around, so they couldn't really commit to the kill all the way, but they do at least take out half his HP.
Yeah, it has definitely been back and forth so far. Again, this is at the point where forward just throws Yuwa into that jungle, and they have, so he's just going to be farming up. He's working towards that Midas, which we see every single hero go for. The issue is, what does he go afterwards? Does he go for that Radiance? Is he going to be going for that Radiance timing with the Magnus up? Or is he going to go for something that allows him to fight earlier?
Vendetta is there on the Nyx. He does spot out Yuwa, farming some Ancients up, and doesn't really have any teammates around to help him out. Can at least soak XP though from the Wraith King. Meanwhile, TI9 top lane going to be in trouble. The Omni Slash was committed by Ritsu. It will not find the kill though, and now the Dual Breath will come out. Ritsu does get roared up as well. Kidrak trying to get out of there, but MSS going to chase him down. But more importantly, Ritsu, well, spin TP. Ice Path will be there though from TI9. He will not make it out. And MSS surely finds Kidrak. Shockwave will connect. They'll find 2 kills on the side of Forward Gaming and make it a 6-10.
Yeah, it definitely does look a lot better for Forward now. They have made the MSS's support Magnus really work. He has leveled 7 up. He should have RP. He's not going to have the best blink timing in the world, but for support Magnus, it's not going to be too bad. And again, they have that tool now to really give themselves a better team fight. They've got level 2 Empower so that the Jug and the Ember and Wraith King can farm up quite fast. And again, you are starting to find your pace here as Forward Gaming, whereas Kookaburra, again, with their lineup, you wanted to see them really work their draft a bit earlier. Not quite there yet. They had a decent amount of trades in that early game. It has kind of tapered off now.
Yeah, the one shining light here for Kookaburra is really Ritsu on that Jug, who is keeping up in farm with the cause of Forward Gaming. They are going to have to rely on that Jug a bit, it looks like, through the mid-game. As Briar is slowly starting to drop off on the Leshrac as well. Now going to slowly push in that mid-tier 1, and now the Stampede comes out. They want to go after CCNC, but the Impale was so late. They get the disruption off. The follow-up, Split Earth will not connect. The Remnant is there from CCNC. They kind of just held out on the Impale for a while, and it did cost them that kill.
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate, but you know, mistakes like that does happen, unfortunately, and down bot as well.
CCNC is still in trouble. He's stuck around the area. He does throw a Remnant out, but the supports are going to chase the Remnant, and CCNC is forced to go there. Now the disruption comes out from Kidrak. Braille, though, doesn't have a follow-up stun available, and there's MSS coming in on the Magnus. Now King Al might actually be in trouble on the Nyx Assassin, as he does get chased down and does get taken down by CCNC. CCNC, I mean, kind of just baiting them in and finding another kill for the side of Forward Gaming, as they'll go 6-11 now. 3k net worth lead is there for the Dire side as well. Kookaburra, apart from Ritsu, is slowly starting to fall apart. To make matters worse, Ritsu is looking to go for the Mat style build. So you won't have that Diffusal there, which is fair enough. He isn't going for the Maelstrom yet either, though. And I don't know if he'll be online enough to really help the team out throughout that mid-game, because Forward is going to have the advantage.
Yeah, they definitely will. So you have to watch out for that timing. There is a smoke out from Forward, but everyone TP's home.
Nice game sense there from Kookaburra. They may go mid lane though. Kidrak, he'll show his face. CCSE has another double damage room bottled up as well as Kidrak. He does get chained up. They get the Ice Path down as well. He disrupted, but it will not matter as CCNC will still be able to clean up the kill and now maybe go for more. Kidrak is currently in his Vendetta though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm just going to try and go for a fight here, Kookaburra. All heroes down. They jump in with the Hoof Stomp. Moon Meander, he just picked up a Blink Dagger. TI9 is going to be the target. They Stampede as well, and TI9 will happily die for the cause. The 4-hero rotation for that support kill, definitely not going to be worth it for Kookaburra, as the rest of Forward do just back off to safety.
That's really the one issue with that kind of movement, right? You understand, you've lost your support, you're not going to be forcing this out anymore. And, you know, you don't even have CCNC in the general area. He's just split pushing now as the Ember Spirit. He has his double damage still bottled up as well, so that's going to be out there in the next fight, I'm sure. And you see who you are. He had his Midas up. He goes into the armlet. I like seeing this, especially with that Magnus you have. You can't play aggressive early.
Ritsu gonna be in trouble. Ice Path is there as well as the macro. Now Moon, he kind of jumps in but doesn't get a good hoof stop. RP is there from MSS. And Ritsu doesn't really have anywhere to go any longer. He does go down. TI9 picks up that kill and now CCNC finds the double chains into the double Ice Path. And MSS Still asking the question, what are they expecting here on the side of Kookaburra? They've got no answer for it. 6k net worth behind now in comparison to Forward Gaming. 7 to 15. Forward, they are really up and online now. I mean, it's just going to be hard to stop them, especially with the draft of Kookaburra. We talked about them having to be up earlier, but it's just not the case.
Yeah, and the map is just going to shrink more and more as this game goes on. Of course, the push potential from Forward is pretty darn strong. You have that Raid King, we've seen it to great effect in the pushes, and Ritsu.
You are. They're caught out. Nice hoof stomp there from Moon Meander. There is a reincarnation available, but Yuar has no friends around. Yuar probably will just have to end up dying here, so he does have an armlet. He'll try an armlet toggle at the very least. Does force out the Stampede as well. Does buy his team space to push down that bot tier 2 tower. But still not great news for Forward to lose their position 1 like that. And Kookaburra, they are going to try and capitalize by pushing in that mid tier 1. Highlight Dime will try to force them back. Nice path will be there. Ritsu should be able to take that tier 1 and does do so. In fact, it is Bryle who picks it up on the Lesh rack. Looks like Yuwa will just go to his own jungle this time around and farm up the safe way. Though mid lane, looks like Moon has been caught out. CCNT again with the chains. He does throw out the hoof stomp, but it just doesn't matter. It's way too much backup there from Forward, and they're going to go for another tier 2, this time in the mid lane.
Yeah, I just don't see any way Forward pulls back. They have that constant push coming out. They want to shut down this map. They don't want to give an inch to Kookaburra. And it doesn't look like they will be, as they take that mid tier 2. That bot tier 2 looking pretty unhealthy as well. And the top one, unfortunately, shoved in a bit too much for them to go for.
Looking out. Go after MSS perhaps. We'll give vision on him. This should be a very easy pickup for Kookaburra if they do wish to go for it. Though Sentry was dropped and now he knew the Nyx Assassin was around. But Forward will go back and finish down that bot tier 2 tower. Kookaburra just desperately trying to get their farm up right now. That they are able to contest this dire side, but when even if you look at Ritsu right now, he's trying his best to farm up and he's doing a decent job of it. It's just not as easy when you're up against a Magnus that can empower his whole team to just farm that much faster. That is exactly what seems to be happening.
It really is. Again, Ritsu just can't keep up with the farming pace coming out from Forward. You have so much more farm on CCNC and Raid King. In fact, you have the most farm on Snake King's Beastmaster. So he's got all the gold in the world. He's been really setting up all these early kills, and at this point in the game, you'd wonder, when does the defensive items come out from Kookaburra? Are they going to bother with something like that?
Smoke will be broken on Moon Meander. So Kookaburra going to stop moving forward, though. Forward may end up doing that themselves. Well, Snake King can give vision with the Hawk, so they do have that advantage. They will go in CCNT. Double chains once again, though. Impel does come out. MLPDotA, the RP is there from MSS, and they are just going to get melted.
Wow.
Right into the macro pyre of Parlay Dai. Only one survivor is left, and that's Ritsu, and he wasn't even in the team fight.
What did you expect?
Now a 12k net worth lead for Forward Gaming, and it just looks like the bloodshed is not going to stop anytime soon. In fact, Parlay Dai going to find Ritsu, throws up the ice path, that there will be a spin TP from Ritsu, and he should be okay. But tell me, John, what do Kookaburra need to do? Like, how do they come back into this game?
They need to be able to find those single target pickoffs with the lineup they have. They have a solid lineup for it. They have that Nyx, they have the Shadow Demon Center there. They even have the Jug. They just need to find someone who's straggling alone, but, you know, CCNC finds Ritsu instead.
Yeah, Ritsu, Healing Ward does go down. He pops his own drums, but now the chains comes in. Spin will be there from Ritsu. CCNC might just go back in again. It's Ritsu. He's going to stick around as well. CCNC now knows he's in the tree line because his Sleight of Fist did hit him. Meanwhile, the rest of Kookaburra are down at the bot lane trying to chase snaking on the Beastmaster right now. He's going to be perfectly fine though.
Oh, Ritsu.
Yeah, CCNC eventually does get him. That's going to be the final outer tower as well, going down for Kookaburra now, so it's only high ground and tier 3s from here for forward. They hold a lot of their own outer towers still available. We'll go for the Roshan now, why the hell not? It's just so darn easy. In fact, Yua's critting for 1k. He does have the Desolator up on the Wraith King, but just no contention whatsoever.
Yeah, now they have that second life on their Ember as well. CCNC going to be enjoying that Aegis, and that should allow them to really play more aggressively again. They're going to have the RP up in about 7 seconds. They have that blink up on MSS now as well. So the initiation's just that much easier for forward. And response from Kookaburra is not there yet. They don't have the farm to really face those fights yet.
Oh, man.
They don't really have any way to position themselves out.
Well, Moon will find the tier 1 bot tower, but it will cost him his life. And I mean, he must have known that was coming. I think he was willing to trade his life away for that tier 1. Just to get some gold influx going the way of Kookaburra. Mid lane though, they've caught out Ritsu once again on the jug. There is a follow-up stun there from Yuwa as well, and Ritsu copying so much. There were no crits coming out from Yuwa though. Meanwhile though, CCNC will jump in and finds the chains onto the jug, and now the follow-up Ice Path. Macro Pyre as well from Palai Dai. Wraith Fire Blast will be dodged by the disruption, but Yuwa not going to give up. He will end up finding Ritsu in the end. Have they found another? The Leshrac does get chained up, and now the Ice Path. Once again, Yuwa. He finds a double. He wants even more. He still has the Reincarnation available, so he doesn't mind going in. In fact, never mind. MSS just skewers him back. Finds the Nyx Assassin now. It's a triple kill coming out from Yuwa. The GG call's already been called, though. And I can't blame them. They understood what their draft needed to do on the side of Kookaburra, but Forward Gaming was just on top of it. In the end, finishing the game off 8-25 with a 20k net worth lead. They do remain undefeated.
Yeah, and that's a really good day one going out for forward, of course. Kookaburra, unfortunately, don't manage to secure themselves that good run into day two. But there are a lot more games tomorrow as well, so they should have the chance to improve their score just a bit more. Nonetheless, forward, they get to keep that unbeatable streak so far, and they're going to have a good time. Overall, I think they've definitely secured themselves a spot in the playoffs now. With this win, it's going to be hard for them to drop out unless, again, they drop every single game going forward. It's going to be rough to knock Forward Gaming out of this one.
Certainly will be. With that, John, that's our final game of the day for us. I'm just confirming if this stream is going to be ongoing or whether we're just going to have to cut it off, but I do believe it should be ongoing. Be a second till I find out. Alright, no. That is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that is it for the North American qualifiers in general. So thank you all for watching. It is MLPDotA and johnxfire. We'll be back tomorrow for some more NA qualifiers over on this stream and, of course, BTS1. Thanks for watching.